this crazy world, it's so hard to unwind. So I'm taking time just for me. Gonna find my peace, let my soul be free. In the quiet moments, that's where I'll find a little room to breathe, leave it all behind. Give me room to breathe, I need some time to heal my heart, to clear my mind. Gonna love myself, yeah, I believe in the power of me. Just give me room to breathe.
Great new day to all my self-care friends and family. Welcome back to another Room to Breathe podcast. I am your host, Life Coach 614, and I am so happy that you've made space to be here with us today. Now, before we go any further, I need you to do me a quick favor. If you're feeling the vibe, go ahead and show us some love. Tap the screen, like, comment, but most importantly, I need you to share this out with someone who may need a little healing energy today. And if this is your first time here, or you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that follow button. Subscribe to our channel, so that way you're always tapped in when a new episode drops. I also want to take a moment to invite each and every one of you to visit our digital home at theselfcareclub.org, where you will find everything from affirmative apparel to motivational merch, as well as a ton of free resources to help nourish your growth and remind you that you are supported every step of the way. Just know that you don't have to do this alone. We are healing in community, growing one breath, one moment, one day at a time. So today I encourage you to give yourself some peace, some space, and honestly, just some room to breathe. And if you're feeling everything, if something hits home and resonates with you, be sure to drop a green heart in the chat. That is our community's way of saying I am healing, I am growing, and I am showing up for me. Now, let's get ready to breathe, reflect, and grow together. Now, family, before we get into anything else, I just want to say this clearly. If you pressed the button today to join this live, it wasn't by accident. Something in you needed a pause, a breath, or simply just a reminder that you don't have to keep holding everything together alone. So let's do this together, right? Wherever you are, sitting in your car, washing the dishes, laying in the bed, walking through your day, whatever it looks like for you right now. I invite you to just slow down with me for a moment. I want you to unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Hey, Reese. Remember, guys, this is your room to breathe. And so if this is your first time here, welcome home. We've been waiting for you. And if you're family already, thank you for contributing to the show. Thank you for showing up for yourself, even on the days that feel heavy. All right? So let's just jump right into today's episode. Today's episode may be a little tender for some people, but it's going to be honest because that's what we do around here. And so even though it may touch on places that you've been avoiding, not because you're weak, but because you've been surviving, right? But this conversation isn't about fixing yourself. It's about giving yourself permission. And when I say giving yourself permission, I'm talking about permission to stop forcing what no longer fits. Permission to feel what you've been rushing past. Permission to rest, release, and realign. Today's message is simple, but it's not easy. Let it end. And when I say let it end, I mean let it end, let it hurt, let it heal, let it go. See, we do all this talk about let them, right? And so for me, for those of you who have been around, let them is a very key part in my healing, right? Ever since I read the book by Mel Robbins, it truly has been a game changer for me, right? With the let them. And so taking that a step further, now that I'm understanding, um, you know, where, you know, who I guess to just allow to do them, there are also situations that I know that I need to let them, quote unquote, or let it. And so I've just been sitting with the thought of just let it end, right? What's up, Lady Blue? Elevated Awakening, sissy. Um, so again, the message today is simple, but I understand it's not easy and we're gonna get through it. But it's let it end. Thank you. Let it hurt. Let it heal and let it go. Let it end. Let it hurt. Let it heal. Let it go. And I mean exactly in that order. So if you've been holding on to something longer than your spirit can afford, if you've been strong for everyone except yourself, if you've been telling yourself I'm fine when your body and your soul says otherwise, today's episode is for you. Welcome in, Avita and India. Welcome in. So I want to start, in a very, I don't know, I guess in as loving of a space as I can, right? Because we need to begin with the let it end. And when I say let it end, I'm talking about us stop resurrecting what has died, right? And I want to start here because this is the part that I think that we fight the hardest. Let it end. Y'all put let it end in the chat for me. Let it end. Not everything is meant to be carried into the next season of your life. Some things don't need prayer, journaling, or one more conversation. They need a release. And I know that endings are hard, especially when you're the type who loves deeply, who hopes endlessly, and believes that people can grow, right? We are great at seeing people's potential and the possibility of things. But let me tell you something that took me a very long time to learn. You can love something or someone and still need to let it or them go. See, we keep revisiting situations that already showed us who they were because endings make us feel like we failed. Right? Like we didn't try hard enough. Like if we just had one more talk, one more chance, one more explanation, maybe, just maybe it would finally click. But clarity doesn't come from repetition. It comes from acceptance. Some relationships ended because they ran their course. Some jobs ended because they were draining your soul. Some versions of you had to end because survival was no longer enough. And listen, because this is very important. An ending is not a loss when it saves your peace. Let me say that again. An ending is not a loss when it saves your peace. See, I think that we've been taught to glorify endurance, right? To wear the I stayed like a badge of honor. But staying in what keeps breaking you is not strength. It is self-neglect. Sometimes the bravest thing that you can say is I'm done forcing this. Letting it in doesn't mean that it didn't matter. It just simply means that it no longer fits who you're becoming. And becoming requires space. Space to breathe without anxiety. Space to grow without shrinking. space to hear yourself think again. So, if you've been holding on to something because you're afraid of what it means to walk away, I want you to hear this. Walking away doesn't erase the love, it simply honors your limits. And your limits deserve respect, especially from you. So, today I want you to ask yourself gently, without judgment, what am I still holding on to that has already ended? What am I trying to revive that my spirit has already released? Because I think sometimes healing begins the moment that you stop resurrecting what's already gone. And it's okay. Let it end. And I think it's important for us to talk about why endings feel like betrayal, right? Let's talk about why endings don't just hurt, they feel personal, right? Because for people like us, endings don't just mean it's over. It feels like a betrayal of our effort, our love, our loyalty. You didn't just show up halfway, you stayed. You prayed. You gave grace. You kept believing in the potential when the reality was constantly and consistently disappointing you. So when it finally ends, the pain isn't just about losing them or, the situation. It's about questioning yourself. You start replaying the story. Did I give up too soon? Was I too much? Should I have tried harder? Or why couldn't I have make it work? And I think that nobody really talks about this part, but I will. Endings hurt deeper when you were loyal to the point of self-betrayal. Because now you're not just grieving the relationship, you're grieving the versions of you that tried to save it. And that grief is real. For many of us, especially those of us who were raised to be strong and forgiving and understanding, walking away feels like breaking this unspoken contract, like you're violating your own values. But I think we have to begin to unlearn, some of these things, because staying too long is not loyalty. It's survival. And survival mode will convince you that abandoning yourself is noble. That's why many of us confuse endurance with love. We confuse patience with tolerance. We confuse being understanding with accepting disrespect. And so when you finally do choose yourself, it feels wrong. Not because it is wrong, because it's unfamiliar. And unfamiliar choices always feel uncomfortable at first. But again, I want to say this clearly because I feel like somebody needs to hear this without me sugarcoating it. You did not betray them by leaving. You stopped betraying yourself the moment you left. And that's not failure. That is awakening. Endings feel like betrayal because we were taught that love means sacrifice. But nobody taught us that we should not be the sacrifice. Right? We should never be the sacrifice. So for anyone who is sitting with guilt right now, if part of you feels like you've let somebody down, I just want you to begin to reframe that gently, understanding that you didn't quit. You simply completed the lesson. Hey, CC, Elevated Awakening. You didn't abandon them. You honored yourself. Abundant Risings, Grandpa, welcome in. You didn't abandon them. You honored yourself. Tanea, welcome back. Elevated Awakenings to you. And that kind of courage, that courage deserves compassion, not shame. So I just want you to remind yourself that choosing yourself doesn't make you heartless. It just means that your heart has finally learned how to protect itself. So again, let it end. Let it end. Absolutely. You got to choose you. I mean, because who else would you choose? All right. So we've gotten through the let it end. Now I want you to type in the chat, let it hurt. Let it hurt. Come on. I need all y'all to say it with me. Let it hurt. Because now that we done let it in, we got to let it hurt. We have to stop rushing our grief. And see, this is the part that we don't like to sit with, because pain makes us feel exposed, right? Messy, out of control. You said why? I'm about to tell you why, Cece. Right? Pain makes us feel vulnerable. So we rush it. We tell ourselves, I'm good. We stay busy. We distract. We pray for peace, but refuse to feel the pain that leads to peace. But as I say all the time, you cannot heal what you won't allow yourself to feel. See, the thing about grief is it doesn't just show up when someone dies. It shows up when a relationship ends, when a dream doesn't turn out how you imagined, when you realize that the version of your future that you were holding on to is no longer available. And a lot of us weren't taught how to grieve safely. We were taught how to be strong, to keep going, to not let it get to us. So instead of letting it hurt, we carry it quietly in our bodies, in our sleep, in our tone, in our exhaustion. But we have to understand that letting it hurt doesn't mean drowning in the pain. It means acknowledging it without shame. It means saying, this hurt me. Not minimizing it, not comparing it, not justifying why it shouldn't hurt as much as it does. Just simply saying, this hurt me. Pain doesn't need your permission to exist. It just needs your honesty. Because what happens is unexpressed pain doesn't disappear, it settles in, right? It tightens in your chest. It shows up as irritability. It turns into numbness or burnout. And numb is not healed. So if today all you can do is cry, then let that be enough. If today all you can do is write one honest sentence in your journal, let that be enough. If all you can do is sit in the silence and breathe through the ache, let that be enough. This is not weakness, it's courage. Letting it hurt is an act of self-respect. It says that my feelings matter, that my experience counts. It says that I don't have to rush my healing to make other people comfortable. And maybe this is a good time for me to remind you that healing is not linear, right? It's not a straight line. Some days you'll feel strong. Other days, the grief will catch you off guard. That doesn't mean that you're going backwards. It just simply means that you're human. So in this moment, I want you to ask yourself without judgment, what am I still trying to be okay about that actually hurt me? What am I still pretending is okay when in reality it hurt me? And why am I rushing my healing? Because I'm afraid of what I'll feel if I slow down. See, because pain you avoid will keep asking you for attention, right? But pain that you allow, it just moves through you. And movement is how healing actually begins. So today I want you to give yourself permission to feel it. And when I say feel it without apologizing, without explaining, without rushing the process. Let it hurt. We've got to understand that the body remembers what the mind skips, right? So you can tell yourself that you're fine all day long. You can rationalize, reframe, and spiritually bypass until the words sound convincing. But your body, your body don't lie. The body remembers what the mind tries to skip over. It remembers the conversations that you swallowed, the boundaries that you wanted to set but didn't, the moments you felt unsafe but stayed quiet, trying to keep the peace. See that tension that you feel in your shoulders? That's not random. That tight chest when a certain name or song plays or, a situation takes place, that tightness that you get in your chest, that's not anxiety out of nowhere. Or that exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, that's accumulated emotional labor. But again, so many of us learned how to keep going, but not many of us learned how to process. We learned to override our bodies instead of listening to them, to push through the fatigue, to ignore the discomfort, to tell ourselves, I'll deal with it later. But later always shows up, right? Sometimes it's burnout. Sometimes it's headaches. Sometimes it's mood swings or short patience or feeling disconnected from yourself. See, your body has been sending you signals, not to punish you, but to protect you. We have to understand that pain is a form of communication. And when you finally slow down enough to listen, your body starts to exhale. This is why healing can feel uncomfortable at first. Because, rest feels foreign to a nervous system that learns safety through survival. So that stillness can feel unsafe when you've always been on guard. So if you're listening and you're someone who has been noticing discomfort as you slow down, I want you to know that nothing is wrong with you. Your body is just learning a new language, right? And that's the language of safety. Healing in the body looks like checking in instead of checking out. Asking, what do I need right now? Honoring hunger and fatigue and emotional limits without guilt. Thank you. It looks like pausing instead of pushing. Stretching instead of straining. Choosing softness where you used to choose strength. And listen, it's not about perfection. right? It's simply about presence. Your body doesn't need you to fix everything today. It just needs you to start listening today. Take another breath with me. In through your nose. And exhale from your mouth. And I want you to notice where you're holding tension. Not to judge, just to acknowledge it. Because when you start honoring what your body has been carrying, healing stops being an idea and it starts becoming an experience. Your body has been keeping score, but it's also been waiting for relief. And today, relief starts with awareness. So we let it end. We let it hurt. Now we let it heal. Add that to the chat. Let it heal. Let it heal. Let's skip to the good part right now. We got to let it end first. We let it hurt. Now we let it heal. But understand that healing is not quiet and it is not performative. Real healing doesn't announce itself. Welcome in, Jordan. Real healing doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come with a dramatic speech or a perfect caption. It doesn't always look strong, spiritual, or put together. Most days, healing is quiet. It's the choice to log off instead of explaining. It's drinking your water, right? Because that's healing. It's saying no without following up with an apology. It's going to bed early instead of pushing through one more thing. Contrary to what society tries to tell you, healing doesn't need an audience. But of course, we live in a world that treats healing like a performance, right? Like you're only healed if you can articulate it, monetize it, or package it in a way that makes other people feel comfortable. And that pressure interrupts the process. Because healing isn't about proving that you're okay. It's about actually being okay. And I can speak firsthand to that because being a life coach who promotes self-care and boundaries, I too am a person that struggles with her self-care and boundaries sometimes. I can know all the things and have all the tools, but life still be lifing for me. But people think, because I show up and I do the podcast or, I monetize and I can articulate that all of a sudden I'm healed. But I'm not. I am healing just like everyone else. I'm a person who understands that healing doesn't require me to prove that I'm okay. It just means that I actually show up and say, hey, I'm not okay, but I will be. Or I'm not okay, and that's okay. See, sometimes healing is subtle, right? It shows up as peace where there used to be chaos, as clarity where there used to be confusion, as calm where there used to be a constant vigilance. You start responding instead of reacting. You love when I do what, girl? Let y'all into my chaotic world. You it just becomes a point where you stop explaining yourself to people who have already shown that they're not listening anyway. You begin to protect your energy like it's sacred because you finally realize that it is. And so I think that at first healing can look like boredom, right? When you're used to dysfunction, calm feels strange. Silence feels loud. That consistency that we talk about, the consistency feels suspicious. But that doesn't mean that something is wrong. It means that your nervous system is learning what safety actually feels like. See, healing is waking up without dread. Healing is choosing peace over being right. I feel like I need to repeat that because that was a lesson for somebody last week. Healing is choosing peace over being right. Healing is realizing that you don't owe access to everyone who wants it. It's not linear. Some days you're going to feel grounded. Other days you're going to feel all sensitive again. That doesn't cancel the work. It simply confirms it. So if you've been feeling a little quieter lately, a little more selective, a little less interested in explaining yourself, that's not you shrinking. That's you healing. So let yourself heal without rushing to reveal, without turning it into content, without waiting for the validation. Your healing doesn't need to be witnessed to be real. It just needs to be honored by you. So today I want you to ask yourself, where am I doing the work quietly and need to give myself credit for it? Because healing isn't loud. It's just consistent and it's always enough. So let it heal. I think that it's also important in this part of the healing to talk about when healing means disappointing people. This is another part that people don't warn you about on your healing journey, right? Because healing is going to cost you some things. Healing will cost you approval. When you start choosing yourself, some people will feel, I don't know, they're going to feel some kind of way, right? Some people are going to feel it before they understand it. Suddenly your boundaries are going to feel like rejection to the people who have benefited for years off of your availability. Now, all of a sudden, your peace will feel like distance to the people who were used to having constant access to you. And so suddenly you're different, right? You're different. You're acting brand new. You don't respond the same. You don't explain yourself as much. You don't show up the way that you used to. So they call that an attitude, right? She got attitude. She thinks she all that. She acting brand new. I can't believe she didn't show up to my party. She is selfish. But let's tell the truth, right? You're not selfish. You're selective. You're not distant. You are discerning. You're not cold. You're just emotionally regulated. And regulation looks unfamiliar in a world that is addicted to chaos. Y'all know Earth is ghetto, right? So you have to understand that healing is going to confuse some people because they are used to the chaos. And for many of us, especially those, raised to be the strong one, the helper, the peacemaker, disappointing people feels like failure. because we were taught to be agreeable. We were taught to be accessible, to keep the peace even when it costs us ours. So when healing requires us to say no, to set limits, or to stop overextending, that guilt hits us hard. But here's what healing teaches us slowly and gently. Discomfort is not danger. Welcome in, No Fear, No Doubt, Elevated Awakenings, and thank you for the heart me. Someone being disappointed doesn't mean that you did something wrong. It just simply means that expectations have shifted. Butterfly, Elevated Awakenings to you. And I'm going to say it, even if won't nobody else tell you, you're allowed to change. You don't need permission to change. You're allowed to. Every single thing changes. Everything evolves. So you are allowed to change. Thank you so much. Healing isn't about becoming harder. It's about becoming clearer. Clear about what you can give. Clear about what you will no longer tolerate. Clear about who gets access to your energy. You become clear on your overall capacity for things. But understand that some people will not adjust. They will try to pull you back into old roles because this healed version of you no longer fits them. And that's okay. But I need you to understand that you're not required to stay small just so other people can feel comfortable. I'm going to say it again because it matters. You are not, I repeat, you are not required to stay small so other people can stay comfortable. Healing is going to ask you to choose alignment over approval, truth over people pleasing, peace over performance. And yeah, that's going to disappoint some people. Let it. Because what it also does is it allows you to protect you. So if you're someone who's sitting with guilt right now, I want you to honestly ask yourself, am I disappointing them, or am I just no longer abandoning myself? Because healing doesn't make you unloving, it just makes you honest. And honesty is a form of self-care, right? Honesty is a form of care, even when it's not well received. So if I care for you, I'm going to be honest with you. And if you don't receive it, well, that doesn't mean that it wasn't me caring for you. So it's okay to be misunderstood in the process of becoming whole. Again, let it end. Let it hurt. Let it heal. And now we let it go. Add let it go to the chat. For those of you who are just joined us, we are talking about the importance of letting things go. And in order for us to let things go, we have to do it in order. We started by letting it end. Let it end. Once it's ended, we got to let it hurt. Like Jasmine said, you got to let it burn. Usher said it too. Let it burn. Okay? So we let it end. Say bye. We let it hurt. Cry about it. We let it heal. We getting over it. Joy come in the morning. Now it's time for us to let it go. And when I say let it go, I'm talking about releasing without resentment. I think that letting it go is often misunderstood, right? People think that Letting it go means pretending that it didn't hurt, that you're suddenly okay, that you forgive, forget, and move on like nothing happened. The real release doesn't erase the experience, right? It loosens the hold that the experience has on you. Letting go without resentment doesn't mean that what happened was acceptable. It just means that you're no longer willing to carry that emotional weight of it every day. Because resentment is heavy. It keeps you tied to the very thing that you're trying to leave behind. Holding on to resentment doesn't punish them, it only drains you. So, release is not about them getting it or apologizing or finally understanding your pain. Release is about choosing peace even in the absence of closure. And that's hard. Especially when accountability never came, right? Especially when you were hurt by someone who never even acknowledged that they hurt you. But closure is not something that they give you. Closure is something that you grant yourself. See, letting go looks like refusing to replay the conversation in your head. Like noticing when your body tenses at the thought of them and choosing to breathe instead of spiral. Like redirecting your energy back to yourself when the past tries to pull you backwards. And I think that this part is important. Letting go doesn't mean that you'll stop feeling. It means that you'll stop feeding the feeling. I'm going to say it again. Letting go doesn't mean that you will stop feeling. It means that you will stop feeding the feeling. And when I say feeding the feeling, you'll stop rehearsing the pain. You'll stop reliving the moment. You stop reopening the wound just to remind yourself why it hurt. You already know. Release doesn't require reconciliation. It requires resolve. The resolve to choose yourself again. The resolve to stop bleeding over people who never tended to your wounds. The resolve to trust that peace is worth more than being right. And sometimes we have to understand that letting go is not a one-time decision, right? Letting go is a daily practice. It is something that we have to wake up and choose to do every single day. It is a moment by moment choice to come back to yourself when those old emotions arise. So if you're still feeling anger, sadness, or grief, I want you to be gentle with yourself. You're not failing at letting go. You're simply learning how to let go in real time. Release happens in layers, and every single layer that you release creates more room for joy and clarity and rest. So today, ask yourself, what am I still holding on to that is costing me my peace? And am I ready not to forget, but to free myself? Because letting go is not a weakness. Letting go is self-respect in motion. And let's talk about who you become after you let go. See, there's this version of you on the other side of letting go, and they don't look like how you imagine, right? They're not louder. They're not harder. They're not trying to prove anything. In fact, they're calmer. After you let go, you stop chasing clarity because you already have it. You stop needing explanations because your body already recognizes peace when it shows up. You become more intentional with your time, your energy, your yes. You begin to pause before you respond. You choose alignment over urgency. And one of the biggest shifts happens quietly. And that's the fact that you stop confusing intensity with connection. You no longer mistake chaos for passion. You no longer feel pulled towards what feels familiar but unsafe at the same time. You start trusting what feels steady, consistent, soft, and you let go. And you begin to hear yourself again. See, your intuition gets louder because it's no longer competing with fear. Your nervous system settles because it's no longer on guard. So now you laugh easier. You rest deeper. You move through life without bracing for impact. And here's the part that surprises most people. You don't become empty after you let go. You become spacious. Now all of a sudden you have room for healthier relationships. Space for joy that doesn't require recovery. Right? Space for dreams that aren't built on survival. You stop trying to be everything for everyone and you just simply start being honest with yourself. You become the version of you that doesn't need to explain their boundaries, that doesn't need to chase validation, the one that knows that peace is not boring, it is a blessing. And some days you might miss what you released, but that doesn't mean that you made a wrong choice. It just means that you're human. And even on those days, you'll notice something different. You won't go back. Because the version of you that let go knows better now. So if you're someone who's standing at the edge of release, unsure of who you'll be without what you're holding on to, let this comfort you. You don't lose yourself when you let go. You find yourself. You meet yourself again. And that version of you, they're softer, stronger, and finally at peace. Now listen, before y'all go rushing off to the next thing, I want you to just take this moment. Sit here with me for just a couple more moments, y'all. Because the content in today's episode wasn't meant to be consumed quickly. It was meant to be felt. Thank you for the heart puff. So if something stirred in you today, if a memory surfaced, if your chest felt tight or your eyes filled up, I just need you to know that nothing is wrong with you. That is awareness. That is healing happening in real time. You don't have to have everything figured out after this episode. You don't have to make a decision today. You don't have to confront anybody or explain anything. Sometimes healing begins with permission. Permission to pause. Permission to tell the truth to yourself. Permission to stop carrying what's weighing you down. To stop carrying what was never yours to carry in the first place. So if all you do today is breathe a little deeper, if all you do is honor your capacity, if all you do is choose not to pick that weight back up, that is enough. Remember, healing doesn't rush you. It meets you exactly where you are. And so wherever you are, I'm inviting you to repeat these affirmations out loud if you can, quietly if you need to. I give myself permission to let it end. I give myself permission to let it end. I give myself permission to let it end. I allow myself to feel what hurts without shame. I allow myself to feel what hurts without shame. I allow myself to feel what hurts without shame. I trust my body and my spirit to heal in their own time. I trust my body and my spirit to heal in their own time. I trust my body and my spirit to heal in their own time. Excuse me. I release what no longer serves me without resentment. I release what no longer serves me without resentment. I release what no longer serves me without resentment. I choose peace over performance. I choose peace over performance. I choose peace over performance. I choose alignment over approval. I choose alignment over approval. I choose alignment over approval. I choose myself with compassion, clarity, and courage. I choose myself with compassion, clarity, and courage. I choose myself with compassion, clarity, and courage. And the final one, I am not behind, I am becoming. I am not behind, I am becoming. I am not behind, I am becoming. Family, let this episode sit with you. And if this episode spoke to you, don't rush it. Just sit with it. Journal what came up. Come back to this episode whenever you need a reminder. And if you're feeling led to share this with someone else who's been carrying too much in silence, please do so. Drop some green hearts in the comments if this resonated with you. That's our way of saying I'm healing, I'm growing, I'm choosing me, right? And for those of you who want to continue this work in community, I'm inviting you to join us in our Room to Breathe community. It is open for everyone. The easiest way to access it is to head over to our website at theselfcareclub.org. If you go to selfcareclub.org, you will see at the very top, it says that the Room to Breathe project is open now in school. And it gives you the join us here button, and you would just click join You would set up your account. It is free to access. Now, there is also a paid membership that is available for those of you who want to take things to the next level. However, as promised 6 years ago now, I told you guys that I will forever have a free community. There will be additional things that I offer, but there will always be a free community. So again, head over to our website at selfcareclub.org so that way you can join our community. For those of you who are in the Discord, the link is already posted there for you as well. Elevated Awakening Z. What's up, Tamika? Yes, I would love for you guys all to come over and join us in the school app. I have a lot of resources that I plan on placing in there. And it's a way for us to keep the healing happening, right? In between these podcasts, we still need that community. So I definitely invite each and every one of you to head over to the website, check out all of the resources that we have available. Our digital home is where self-care meets accountability, and our Room to Breathe community shows that healing doesn't happen alone. We get to do this together. Now, before we end, let me leave you all with a little love and light. As always, I want to remind you to keep breathing through the highs, the lows, and every moment in between. I want you to keep choosing peace, even when it feels out of reach. And know that here at the Self-Care Club, you will always be seen, always valued, and always supported. So don't be afraid to take up space, speak your truth, and make a little room for you to breathe. I love each and every one of you to life. And I am praying that your day is not just amazing, but aligned, intentional, and yes, on purpose, filled with purpose. This has been another Room to Breathe podcast, and I cannot wait to connect with you all again soon. Melody, thank you so much. Melody says Queen Energy only is the reason I am rich AF. Yes, girl. I love it. Thank you so much. Tamika, so if you guys go to selfcareclub.org, you can also go to the link in my bio for those of you who are on TikTok. The link is in my bio. But if you just want to type it in on your browser, selfcareclub.org. You cannot miss the community because it is right at the top. Yes, selfcareclub.org. Yes. And I'm telling you guys, I think I am the most excited about this community on School. For those of you who don't know, School is another platform for creatives who it's still like a social media community, but it is more about the education. It is more about the learning piece. So I feel like it takes the drama out of social media. So I'm very excited to be over there. I am very excited for you guys to see, all the resources that we can pour into that community. So yeah, please, everybody, go over there and join. I think we're sitting at a little over 20 people in the community now. 22. Okay, wait, 23. Kale in the house. Period. We sitting at 23 people now. But yeah, you guys. Yeah, School is awesome. Tania, make sure you join the Room to Breathe project over there. Like I said, if you click the link in my bio or just go over to selfcareclub.org and join from there, we would love to have you in the community. And honestly, you guys, you can share this out with other people. If you have friends and family who could benefit from this community and they're not on, TikTok or YouTube, honey, don't stop. Just share it to them. Text it to everybody. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So yeah, but I love you guys. You guys are all amazing. And like I said, I do hope that you all have an amazing day. If anybody has any questions, feel free to inbox me. Selfcareclub.org is your go-to. So if you have questions, you go to the website. There's a little purple box at the bottom left that says need help. send me a question if you need that. Click the link in my bio. It has all the resources and places to be able to find me. So don't be sitting over there suffering in silence because you outside the club and can't get in, okay, y'all? Because we over here, we waiting. I'm literally sitting here pushing the button, accepting people as we speak. So yeah. But I love you guys. Have an amazing day. Thank you, Fearless. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, you guys, don't be scared. Don't be scared to engage. We doing this together. All right, y'all. I'm gonna push the button. Yay! I'm so happy. Tell mom I said hello, beautiful. I cannot wait to reconnect with her as well. Thank you guys so much. And like I said, I'm heading over to school now. So for those of you who want to keep the conversation going, just join me over there. All right. All right, YouTube. I gotta push the button now, but I love y'all. Melody, thank you so much. And Melanie, again, that invite goes out to you as well. Melody, I see you're on Facebook. So if you are I'm assuming if you're on Facebook, you're subscribed to my page over there, but there should be a post over there as well. I don't know that I've made the post directly on YouTube yet, but I will. But again, guys, just go to selfcareclub.org. It is literally the first box up top. Yeah, I'm in Ohio. It's the first box up top. I love you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be more organized tomorrow. I'll actually find my notes and have them because I was winging it today, y'all. But we do what we do. All right. Catch you next time, YouTube, Facebook. See you later.